Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, former Indicom investigator accused of failing to prepare for court. The level of preparation by a former Independent Commission of Investigation's senior sleuth was brought into question on Tuesday during the trial of 3 cops charged in relation to the death of Maria Dean in police custody in 2014. Investigator Molly Plummer, the Crown's 15th witness, who started her testimony on Monday, struggled to recall several things, including accounts of statements she took from witnesses. Was there anything preventing you from reviewing your notes or a copy of the file prior to giving evidence in this case? Questioned Martin Thomas, the lawyer representing 2 of the 3 accused cops on trial in the Westmoreland Circuit Court. Geographical constraints and the demand of my present job, Plummer suggested, accounted for her lack of preparation. The 3 accused are Corporal Elaine Stewart and the District Constables Marlon Grant and Juliana Cleavon, all of whom are charged with manslaughter and misconduct in a public office. The lawyer representing Cleavon asked during cross-examination, "Did you call Indicom and ask, 'Where are my notes?' I did not see that it would have become necessary at this time," stated the witness. "I gave evidence regarding my actions and involvement in this matter, apart from some specific dates that I can't recall." One such aspect was her failure to remember if she had collected a shoe from one of the men who was in cell number 4 with Dean. The investigator was also unable to say if a witness who was an inmate and who gave a chilling account of Dean's beating and the reaction of the cops was in cell number 2. On April 22, the former inmate told the court that he gave Indicom a statement in August 2014, which indicated that while he was at some point in cells 1 and 2 in 2014, he was in cell 2 at the time of the incident with Dean. The former inmate also told the court that the statement Indicom took was incorrect and that he had pointed it out to Plummer. Following interjection from the Crown, Plummer was shown a statement the witness, who was an inmate, gave on August 11. Under cross-examination from Thomas, Plummer told the court that the former inmate signed the statement as true after he was allowed to correct any mistakes that may have been made. She noted that if there was no correction, the former inmate would sign all 7 pages as true according to standard protocol. The allegations in the case are that Dean was arrested for possession of a ganja spliff and placed in custody, where he was brutally beaten on August 3, 2014. He sustained severe injuries to his brain, which left him in a coma. He died 3 days later at Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. It is alleged that the 3 cops were on duty at the police station when Dean was beaten. It is further alleged that Stewart, who has an additional charge of perverting the course of justice, instructed that the cell in which the attack took place be cleaned before the arrival of investigators from the Independent Commission of Investigations. Cops agrees demonstration license tags pose security risk. A former senior cop has pointed to the importance of the governmental plan to overhaul the system of motor vehicle dealerships using demonstration license plates, pointing out that they were only able to identify the driver of a speeding Mercedes-Benz GLE 450 because the car crashed after ignoring a police command to stop on Winston Jones Highway near Mandeville on Tuesday. "It needs to be done like yesterday because it is a security risk. We can't track the blue plates on our system, and some of them are bogus," the cop told the news. The vehicle was signaled to stop twice, and imagine when the driver was told to switch off the vehicle. During the second stop, he disobeyed and sped off. The GLE is a very fast car, and within minutes, the car crashed into an Axio and a truck, the cop added. There were no reports of injuries. Another policeman, who identified himself as Constable Barrett, assigned to the Area 3 Highway Patrol, said about 12:30 p.m. police were conducting speed and spot check operations along the Maypent to Williamsfield leg of P.J. Patterson Highway when the red GLE Mercedes-Benz was signaled to stop. It was clocked at 162 kilometers per hour in an 80-kilometer zone, the policeman said. The vehicle eluded us. We called for assistance. An inspector and a team at Williamsfield stated that they stopped the vehicle. The driver stopped and he sped off later on, resulting in a collision along the Winston Jones Highway, he said. A police source said the driver of the car identified himself as a Car-Mart dealer. However, the police have expressed the concern that it is difficult to trace cars with demonstration plates. We have an issue with the blue plates because once they refuse to stop, we have no way of knowing who these vehicles belong to, as they cannot be identified by our current system, he said. Last month, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz said the arrangement for the use of demonstration plates is being abused and posing a national security risk. It is a matter of huge concern, not only as it relates to road use, but national security, Vaz said at the weekly post cabinet media briefing at Jamaica House. He explained that the plates are utilized in the automobile trade to move vehicles from the wharf and to demonstrate cars for sale, etc. However, there is credible evidence that the demonstration plates are being exploited by individuals to facilitate criminal activities. Compounding the issue, the police are currently unable to trace these plates through their smart check system. He said the government will address the problem by amending legislation to overhaul the system to support a more transparent and accountable regime. He said the system will be revamped and replaced with a web-based permit under which dealers will be able to access the plates as required. This will allow the authorities to be better able to enforce and monitor compliance. The benefits will include ease in administration, management and enforcement, dealer online application, and a printed permit with a QR code for enforcement verification. 3 men charged for abduction and robbery of 2 women in Harborview. The police have laid charges against the 3 men captured last month in connection with the abduction and robbery of 2 women in Harborview, St. Andrew. The men have been charged with several offenses, including abduction and illegal possession of prohibited weapons and ammunition. They are scheduled to face a series of identification parades in connection with other crimes committed in the corporate area. The women were abducted on April 9, shortly after boarding a rogue taxicab in Harborview. The women, who were on their way to work, were robbed at a gunpoint, with the robbers taking their phones, cash and bank cards. The victims were later released in Pembroke Hall and rescued by the St. Andrew South Police. An investigation was launched, which led the police to a white Toyota Probox, the vehicle believed to be used in the crime. It was later identified. The vehicle was intercepted in downtown Kingston on April 11, and the 3 suspects arrested. Various items in their possession, including 2 illegal firearms, 2 imitation guns, 51 rounds of ammunition, clothing matching descriptions from the incident, and a grey ski mask were seized. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.